Welcome back to Behind the Veil. I'm here with BoneZee. We're going to record another episode. Thank you for joining us here today. We're thankful to have you, grateful. Please hit the like button, share,
Sub to my channel.
sub to BoneZee's channel, sub to my
Yes.
channel. And if you don't like it, double tap the thumbs down button. How about that? So, we're here today. We wanted to talk a little bit about.
I like that double tap. I didn't catch
that. You get that?
Yeah, I got it now.
I know. I heard that the other day. I'm like, that's genius. I'm going to use that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We wanted to talk a little bit about the group healing experiment that Africa and I did, and the lady Nikki that. We were just talking about that off camera. She just had an amazing experience. Like, wow. Like, and the healing from the pain and the conditions that she received was phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know, I do believe this is, with these energies, it's a receivership. So even if I'm facilitating, I'm still receiving.
Yeah.
When you're receiving, we're sending you to energies, but you're kind of doing it yourself. You know what I mean? You're tapping into this yourself. So it's like we attune you to it, and then you do the rest. Whether it's consciously or subconsciously.
Right.
You are a master. We are powerful beings. So she stepped into her mastery and had a hell of an experience, and hopefully she'll do something with it. She seems so excited. She's full of life and love and passion now, and I'm sure she can do it.
I know, man. I was, after watching that, I was just that was so awesome. I was just like, I'm so happy for that girl. I was like, what an awesome story, and a testament and to what's going on. You know what I'm saying, and what you're doing. So I mean, and I've been hearing a lot of people say the same things. You know what I mean? You got that touch, man. That's good stuff. And I know we all do, but some people are just, they're doing it. You're doing it. That's what's up, man. You're doing it. So I'm loving that, but I'm loving watching the whole thing, blossom too. And it's funny because even though we all know that we can do this ourselves, we can heal ourselves. We know this. Like you as a practitioner, you'll still have another practitioner do a healing on you when you feel like you need it.
Yeah.
Just because when you bring that extra person in, even though it's not that person doing it, they're bringing in the energy. You're bringing in the energy. You're creating this triangle, this harmonious. I think that the reason that it works a little better with the two people in the ether, you have that triad. You have that. It's the harmony thing again, you know what I'm saying? The frequency thing. So their frequency, your frequency, and whatever you're gathering. And, you're just creating this vortex of energy. And it kind of realigns. It kind of gets, and the weird thing is how it kind of goes to where the person, like what they really need. Because some people, they're in pain, but in all reality, there's something, what they really want healed. It could be a relationship. It could be whatever. It could be anything that, they don't even think about, and they're just thinking, well, I'm going to healing. They think of healing. They think of injury. Yeah. And they think, oh, it's got to be pain. And a lot of times pain is manifested from some kind of situation in your life. I remember when, and this is kind of a funny story because I always used to tell Kim how her dad was a pain in the ass. He's passed now, and I don't want to speak ill of him, but her back doctor told him the reason you have back pain is because your husband, he's got you tensed up. I mean, he's literally, she was in a bind, she was in that pain because she couldn't relax, or she couldn't, like, it was just so much stress, arguing and bickering and doing shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of times pain is manifest from some other situation, and you're not even realizing that that's what's causing the pain. So when you go for a healing, something else might get fixed. It kind of snowballs into something else, and and then later on you look back and you see that it was this process of a healing, that was,
Yeah, that's why when Dr. Pearl says that, he used to answer, like when they asked how how often does this work? You know, how often do people get healed? He used to say like 70% of the time,
Yeah.
because that was with the physical ailment side. You know what I mean? 70% of the time they were healed, and it, you know, was most of the time for life.
Yeah.
And then he, after, studying that or examining that for a time, you realize that everybody gets a healing every time. There's so many levels to it that you won't even see for a time. You know, it takes
Yeah.
time for that to
Right.
unravel and for that to blossom into your life.
Right.
And it's truly amazing. Like this, I'm just
Yeah.
love with these frequencies. I am blown away by the frequencies and what has already happened in my experience with
Right.
these frequencies in such a short period of time. I mean, I
Right.
know that's what I'm meant to do in life, and that's what I'm doing. And I'm really trying to follow the path of least resistance in my life. And I've been getting a lot of resistance in a lot of things I've been trying or that I've been working on. And I am at a point where I'm done with that. You know, like if it's resistance, it's not part of my plan. That's how I'm looking at it. You know,
Yeah. Right.
everything else is just blossoming perfectly. You know, things that I'm manifesting, and it's just perfect with no
Right.
resistance. And so I'm letting go all the things that are giving me resistance. And maybe it's not the time right now.
Yeah. Right. Right. Yep. Totally understand that. And that's healing in itself. You know what I'm saying? Healing, everything, and that's, to me, that's what I say. I kind of say that ascension is sort of this process of healing. That's how you ascend, really, is because once you get to this final place of forgiveness and love, you're at a higher frequency, you're at a higher vibratory rate, and that is healing. That is what healing is. I mean, that's when you're in the flow. That's when, um, uh, the energy moves right through you and from the earth, Gaia to the universe. There's no clogs, because you're clogging it up. We create this like bottleneck. We create this, where it all stops and just everything, kind of through basically through not really forgiving people or ourselves.
Yeah.
And there's things when you come to this realization that you are like so much a part of the problem, that where, instead of always looking at that person like that person's the problem, you have to look at where you're the problem. You know what I'm saying? Then
Yes.
that's how that cog, that wheel, you got a monkey wrench thrown in your shit. That's how it comes unclogged, and then the gears start turning again. You're like, oh, I'm doing, or I shouldn't be doing this, or I should get away from this. I mean, why am I even giving this energy or whatever, the case is. But that flow goes again. Now you're in a healthy state, you're not, like they say, at dis-ease, you're at ease, you know what I'm saying? And that's where you want to get. You want to get to where you're because the earth itself is going through the change right now and everybody's feeling it. People are going through the change. Our cells are going through the change. Every single thing, all the way down to the microbial, to the to the atoms.
Hmm.
Everything's changing. You know what I'm saying? And so you got to be ready now. I think, like, to serve. I don't want to say serve yourself, but you have to. If it's taking you down or whatever, you need to get away from it, because there's going to be a lot of people sinking on this ship. They're in this negative shit, and they're going to sink. They're fucking sinking, and they want to take you down. Dude,
Yes.
you need to get away. It's like the Titanic. You need to get away from that motherfucker before, you know what I'm saying? Before it sucks.
Yes.
If it will suck you down, if you're anywhere close to it. So there's a time to jump, and, that's healing. That's healing too,
That is. That's that video I did with Case, and that's exactly what he said. Sometimes the lessons that you learn from these people are that to learn how to walk away.
Yeah.
You know? And that's so true. You know what I mean? Like it's you gotta keep yourself in balance. In balance, not imbalanced. It doesn't
Yeah.
sound
But you
like.
also have to understand too that what you're walking away from, you're also walking away from a part of yourself like that. whatever that problem is, that's a problem that's inside of you, because you're seeing that, and the reason that it's there is because it's inside here. It's in here. It's in here. You're making it happen. So there's something about you that you need to release about yourself, so that you can let that go. And now you know that about yourself. That's how I've, been coming to these realizations lately.
You
That,
know, I
go
just
ahead.
watched Aluna Ash put out her new energy updates for April and May, and with this new moon that's coming through, which I think is Friday, it's in 2 days.
Libra. It's in Libra. Two of them have been in Libra. This hasn't happened very often. 2 full moons in Libra in the same month.
Wow.
Wait a minute, not the same month. Yeah,
the
months each month, back to back. Yeah.
But that's exactly what she was saying, that where the moon was positioned, where the planets are positioned, I really want to learn that, because that is very telling, if you know what to look for with the astrology. But so she's saying that there's going to be a lot of healing, meaning that you're going to manifest a lot of these things. So she was cautioning to not buy into distractions, to watch out for distractions and not let them, throw you off your process or your path. But, down to like your family, she said, particularly your family is going to probably, I don't know. I don't remember the term, but maybe like lash out, or you're going to have conflict. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
right.
That's you. You're subconsciously bringing that out in them. You know what I mean? So that's a part of yourself to look at also, and that you need to heal from, like you said, which is.
Yeah, you're forcing the issue because it's time to move on from that. You know what I'm saying? Right. And a lot of times you have to come to that line in the sand where you can cross. And you either like walking away from that person, or you're just saying, hey, look, I'm not letting you affect me anymore. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing my thing now. I'm doing me until, because you just can't, I don't know, man. People are allowing themselves, I think, to be shittier, and they're allowing themselves to be more hateful. They're allowing themselves to be more judgmental. People are allowing themselves to go that route, And so allow yourself to go the other way, like do whatever, dude. I'm not going that way. You know what I mean? I'm good at it. I'll fucking destroy you. You don't want me to come that route. You know what I mean? You prefer me going this way. You know what I mean? At least that's how I feel about it. I've done that. I'm good at it. I don't want to do it. I prefer to just like, kind of like, I don't know. I just really feel like the more positive mindset you get to, the more you can breathe. There's this like, you feel lighter. You feel like you can breathe, and you just, I don't know. I think of a lot of things like, those little throwaway phones. I think, man, a person should have only 2 or 3 people who know that number, and that's the only phone you carry. And you leave that other phone where it's got all these notifications telling you when somebody does this and somebody does. Who gives a shit? You know what I mean? If somebody needs to get a hold of you, those 2 people that matter, they got your number, and it's in a little flip phone, and it's not GPS tracking your ass. It's not, knowing everything that you're doing, everywhere you're at, what sandwich you're eating. You know what I mean? Because they know that shit.
Yeah.
They know.
Every time you go to a store, you come out and you get something like rate your experience at this store. I'm like, quit watching me, man. Leave me alone.
Yeah. All right. Well, I had this vision, dude, of like this dude walking down New York, right? And they got all these cameras where they're pinging you. You know how when those bombers that on that marathon, them 2 Haji dudes, the bombers, they on that marathon, Pennsylvania, or
the Boston Marathon.
Boston Marathon, yeah, okay. They ping those. Everywhere those guys went, there was a camera seen them here, and then they seen them here, and all this time. Right. Well, they've also got where they ping your phone. Yep. Well, like let's just say that in New York in the future, they've got shops. This dude sells his software to where they see a guy who's an impulse buyer who has a good credit history, that's a gambler, that loves big titties or whatever.
Yeah.
And they design their store that his favorite color is blue. He comes walking by, blue. Here's a guy out there handing him a lottery thing. A chicken, big old boobs calling him in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The whole store changes to his
Yeah.
everything he loves. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's
I'm gonna get a drink.
that's where it's going. I guarantee
Yeah.
that's where it's going. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's
Right.
why I mean this is such a consumer driven market that we live in this country that it's and that's why the information's out there. Oh well, the driving reason is that they're for consumers. They want you to buy, 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 buy. They want to know your buying habits, spending, everything.
Yeah.
And
Oh, that's
and
it.
they know it very well, because no one like
Every time you
nobody
spend,
takes cash out of their bank account anymore and buys everything with cash. You use your bank card, your credit card. Everything you buy is recorded, which you know it can be nice, if you have to have a record of things, but it's kind of annoying with I mean, you get emails from places that you never visited.
oh yeah.
You get ads on YouTube for something that sometimes it seems like you
Well,
just think
Kim went
about it
to
and they see it, or you talk about it, and then all of a sudden it's there. It's wild, man.
well, she asked her brother. This is funny because she's in the market for a bicycle. She asked her brother about a certain, or for advice because he knows about bikes and shit. And he told her a rally or a what was the other one? They're high dollar bikes, 300 something bucks. They're nice bikes, you know what I'm saying? And so he's telling her to look at those two bikes, you know what I mean, type of thing. And so you'll have to edit that. But anyway, so she goes and um, looks on the little link that he sent her, to this. I'm trying to think of the damn name of it. It's not a rally, but it's the other one. It's a good bike. But anyway, long story short, ever since then, Instagram and Facebook and where else has she been getting like little ads of bicycles from different like Trek and just other companies that compete with that company. And even that company have been like everywhere she comes, it pops up. There's a bike, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Pops up, there's a bike just because she clicked on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's spooky to me, man. It's like, damn. I mean, everything you do, man. It's like, damn,
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's like I say, it's going to come a time where they see the impulse guy, the guy that's compulsive. He's a gambler type. He's a, whatever. And they see that he's got money in his account. He's credit. His favorite color is blue. He loves golf clubs. He buys a new golf club once a week. You know what I'm saying? Or he's a fishing guy or whatever. Next thing you know, right there in the storefront, boom, it changes, switches to his shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if they was doing holographic images, it would be that easy to change.
Well, I was just getting ready to take it there. That's they have that technology with glass. They have just glass TVs, like it's a piece of glass, and then you turn it on, and it's like and then
he comes walking by, he looks up, and there's this sexy chick with cleavage. She's got a brand new tailor-made golf iron. You know what I mean? She's hitting the golf ball. And it lands at the horse track. He's like, I gotta go in this place. You know what I mean? They milk that stuff. He's got, But I mean, it's that close. We're that close to it. They're already doing that shit. Yeah, you got a little orb. You had another little orb. This one came up, flew around your body. No, other side.
Side?
Yeah, and it kind of went around, like made a little went around. It didn't just drop down. It was just like moving around.
Nice.
You're like, Jesus Christ, buddy.
Bring it on.
Yeah. You'd shit if orbs came from everywhere.
Oh
my God,
that'd be great. That'd be great.
You'd be like, oh, I gotta get out. I'd be like, I'm out of here, dude.
As long as I don't thought her floating away, I'm all right.
Right, yeah. Oh shit.
That's funny.
Oh,
yeah, that's kind of crazy. All the orbs that people have been picking up on my videos. It's really quite amazing. It really is. It's I can feel it. I sense these things. I sense when things are close to me, or I can pick that up, and it's all the time.
Yeah.
It's like
it's everywhere, dude. It's all around you.
Yeah, you're always surrounded by your family, essentially. It's your tribe. Your tribe on the other side of the veil. They're here, and if you're not aware of them, all you gotta do is hold your hand out. Ask for help. They're there. I did that, and I didn't even realize that. I really think that's what really started this whole journey for me, because I was lost. I was lost like 8 months ago, and I was like, this is real. If you were there, I feel like I can sense when things are happening. I was like, I give you permission to intervene, throw me on my life's path or whatever the process is here. Let's do it. And then I was very much into the fear. You know what I mean? I was in the fear, Planet X and the Biru and the NWO is gonna take over one world government, and we're all being controlled, reptilians, and so on and so forth, and la 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 la. And it's like,
I think that's kind of what leads everybody to the awakening, sort of.
Yeah, I mean, if that's that when you're in that fear and victim mentality, it's so easy and it's so real. They sell it so well. You know what I mean?
Right.
There is some kind of evidence to some planetary happenings in the past, in my opinion. But that's neither here nor there. Like I don't want to get into all that. But that's where I was at with my mentality. I was very much into that, into the prep. We need to get food, water, supplies, generators, batteries, flashlights, lanterns, fishing equipment, and then hunting equipment. We need this, that, and third. And I got most of it, But now I just now I see it as like I'm gonna take a badass camping trip. You know what I mean? Like I got all this shit now. But But and then that's that fear, and it's you will attract that experience if that's what you were doing, and that's what it was happening to me. I was like attracting that reality, and it was freaky. Like I was freaking out, like I was packing bags, and I had the car packed up already. Like at any minute, shit was gonna hit the fan, and I was gonna like grab the kids and run. Like, but where? Where are you gonna go? Like what? So, dude, I was in that for like 2-3 months, and maybe longer than that. And then I was watching a video one day, and it was I think it was a channeled message. It was like Sister Mary talking to Jesus or whoever. I don't remember who it was. I'm just saying that, but they were talking about it, and it started off, let's talk about what's going on, and the famine, and the bad things that are happening on this planet. And then it started talking about like once that all happens, like where two people are, God is there essentially. Like if not, God's with you, inside of you always. Okay. But it was talking about healing, and that's what struck a chord with me. So if it was like talking about if you have medical issues with your group of people that are like stranded out in the woods with no power, no anything, none of that, that he said that all you have to do is like put your hands on that person and ask for help, and they'll help you. And that like struck a chord with me. Then this is months before I had a vision about my hands being lit up with light. And that was that. And then they said something else, like basically saying that they will provide you, like they'll provide you with food, they'll provide you with shelter, they'll provide so you survive. You may not be comfortable, you're gonna live, you're gonna survive. If you trust and believe that you will survive, maybe you're not going to be comfortable, you're probably going to lose some weight. If that was my mentality then, that's what I was thinking. And then after that healing and taking care of it, like this calm, this peace, love, calm energy just showered over me, and it was like that. It was over. No more fear.
That's awesome.
Immediately. And then I was like, well, cool, man. Everything's gonna be all right. And then everything shifted. I mean, I was manifesting storms, like crazy clouds that I'd never seen. Like it was like it was like a cylinder, it was like a cylinder cloud that was hollow, and there was like a storm going on inside of it, like right over my house. I'm like, I've never seen anything like that. And it's like it just kept getting worse. And it was so often at my brother's house, it would rain and have lightning storms, and the power would go out, but it didn't rain anywhere else.
Really?
Yeah. Like we were freaking out. And then that calm happened, and I think it was like a week or two later, something happened with my brother, and it released all that fear, you know.
Yeah.
And everything changed. Power stopped going out like every week, and you know the storms stopped happening. Isolation.
Yeah, it's real weird. It's weird how the shit happens, and you know the shit is happening. You know what I mean? And what's crazy is you can't really talk to anybody. You try to tell people, and they either change the subject, or they don't hear a word you say, or they just look at you like you're nuts. You know what I mean? Every once in a while, someone will be like, "Oh, really?" You know what I mean? But for the most part, you know, you try to tell people shit, I think they just think you're crazy, or your imaginations go, you know. And I do the same thing. I'm like, was it my imagination? I even asked her. I need to see another orb fly by. I even asked her, you know, do you think I'm crazy? You know what I'm saying? Because I wonder, am I creating DMT? Am I tripping? Am I seeing shit? You know, because of the different things that have happened, you know. And yeah, it's when the shit first goes down and you start getting in that real mystical place, all kinds of shit's happening all day, every day. You really need to keep a journal, because you kind of forget, and then like 6-8 months you're like, oh my god, I forgot all about that. That was fucking nuts. Remember when that, you know, whatever. And so yeah, and me and her, it's constant, man. It's like, you know, every time you turn around, just some weird ass shit. It's like, what? You know what I mean? It's cool. You know, it's cool. Yeah. But you also kind of think, you know, like, what is going on? You know what I mean? Because I'm ready for the next thing. You know, I'm like, I've been seeing all this shit, and I'm seeing what I'm capable of, a lot of different things. I know I haven't seen like anything what I'm actually capable of. That's what I want to see. What else can I do? Because I just know there's some stuff. You know what I mean? I know there is.
Oh yeah.
And it's gonna be sweet as hell, but it's got to grow. I can feel like it's one of those things that has to slowly grow for whatever reason. There's, you know, and there's this shift thing. You know, everybody can kind of sense that there's them people who are just getting so far gone with the hate and the anger. I mean, they're like gone, dude. They're every word out of their mouth is, they're suspicious of the other guy. You know, they think, oh, well, he's probably trying to do that. Anything you say that they've got an answer that has to do with, well, he's probably trying to, you know, get in and do this because he's doing that, or he's doing, you know, they're always suspicious of everything, and just living that constant, you know. And then you got the people that's moving this direction, you know. And I think that over the course of the next 5, 6, 8 years, there's going to be people who die of all that anger. That shit's gonna kill them, dude. It's gonna kill them like a plague. It's gonna be an actual, literal, psychological plague. They're gonna know that they're dying. They're gonna believe that they're dying. They're gonna be told that they're dying, and they're gonna die. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to me, ascension and healing, it's the same thing. You know, you gotta get the flow going. You know, you want to be at ease, not dis-ease, and you got to do everything possible. You know, there's like we had talked about that Bruce Lipton guy and Joel Dispenza in the movie What the Bleed, and you know, you figure out how you can change the cells in your body by the way that you think. You literally, the things that you do, just changing your hair, changing your clothes, changing the way you go to work, changing your job, changing the way you think, changing the way you think about yourself, telling your cells in your body, saying, hey, cells, we're going to be healthy. We're going to be healthy, dude. I'm going to do whatever I can to make you healthy. You're going to do whatever you can to be healthy. We're going to be healthy. We're thinking along those lines. Dude, you start changing shit. Then you start changing your perspective. Once your perspective changes, because everything you see is a reflection of your perspective, you know. So, like the resistance that people are meeting, like what you're going through and I've been going through, these are things that we know. These are like they're like the little things that you got to bust through to get through, you know, to that next thing where you're clear, like the fog, like it's a layer of fog.
That you're barriers.
Yeah, you're kind of cleaning that fog out. Mm-hmm. Then you get to where you can see more, you can see more, you can see more. Now everything's nice and clear. Shit doesn't affect you anymore. You can actually see why that person is so angry. You can see why they you know, despise you, you know what I mean, or whatever their problem is with you. A lot of times because they can't have what you got, because they're not willing to let go of whatever baggage that they're just dragging around, dude. They got like, I got people in my family, dude, that literally have semi loads of garbage baggage. They'll pull out dates on me when I did this in 1982 and I done this in 96. It's like, you haven't got over that shit yet. Are you fucking serious? It's 35 years, dude.
Yeah.
You're letting me control,
they,
you know, your
they
life.
keep it because it's like a debt over you, you know, it's like it's a form of control, you know, like, oh, well, you did this then, so you need to do this for me now, you know. That's why you got to be conscious of that while you're doing it now, and now today's day and age, and don't let people to create that debt in your life, you know. Don't let them, because, you know, if you give them that power, you're essentially making them your god, you know, like, and you just can't let that happen.
There
was something
forgive them and have them forgive you, or ask them to forgive you.
Ask them. Yeah, you can't have them, but ask for forgiveness, or even if it's that, if that's gonna be damaging, or if you know that if you ask them, you think that's gonna bring more harm than good to the situation, then then just forgive them, and, you know, write them a letter and don't give it to them or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's that. But what I want to say is that human consciousness affects matter. It can change everything. The way you think, like you were saying, the way you think will have an effect on your cells in your body. It'll have an effect on your surroundings. It's
all matter is created from human consciousness. Everything that there is.
Correct.
Every single thing there is.
Yes. So we have the power to change that. So that's just it, you know. Like, and you gotta be careful, because even when you talk, like most people say, like, damn, I hate that, you know. I still say that. I'm really working on removing that word from my vocabulary. Like, damn it, I hate doing that. Or like, oh, or you think like, shit, I'm stupid. That was stupid. Why did I do that? Well, you're telling your body that you're stupid, that you hate, you know, and your body's receiving that. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that.
You got to focus, and you got to live in it. You got to live in it.
Affirmations in today's day, right now, with the energy that's here on this planet, are powerful. I mean, just thinking them, your body knows what you're thinking. You know, your innate knows what you're thinking. Your DNA is an intelligence in itself. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you really got to be conscious and hold every thought captive. You know, examine that thought. If it's something that's not in alignment with your highest good, then examine that, and why is it still there? I just lost my train of thought.
That's why I think meditation actually is so important, because I mean, that's what I really, really do when I meditate. I these thoughts that I have that you know, that I don't know, just don't allow me to be my best version. You know what I'm saying? I examine why am I pissed, or why is that bothering me, and then like I say, I always try to figure out what if I take the blame, then I can fix the problem. You know what I'm saying? If I give them the blame, then I'm giving them, now they have to fix it. They can't fix shit. You know what I mean? I can tell they're going to fuck this whole thing up.
And then you'll never
take the blame so that I can fix the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's kind of my mentality behind that sort of, where am I to blame? And then what can I do? Because, and a lot of times that does actually change the whole situation. You know what I'm saying? And, I don't know, man. It's just like you really, really have to meditate and kind of think of why, you know, what is this bothering me? What is it that's bothering me? Because every single thing you want to get rid of, you're going to have things that bother you. There's just going to be, you know, like if you have a doctor's visit, or you do have whatever, kind of like go to the utility and there's that mean person and they charge you for something that they shouldn't, and you want to talk to the manager, and the customer's never right anymore. That shit's gone. That's like yesterday's news, dude. This customer being right shit. Oh my God. I don't care if you're at a restaurant. I mean, I wouldn't even put it past me. If you found a hair, they'd be like, hey bud, that's your hair. and you bought it, it's yours. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it gets to that point where you're just like, as soon as they get your money, dude, they're done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that frustrates people. That frustrates me because I've always been a salesman, and I've always been the kind of salesman, you know, if you got a problem, you come straight back to me. We'll fix this shit right now, because they're going to bring their daughter back. They're going to bring their cousin. They're going to tell their mom. I'm making sure this one person is going to sell me 10 cars, and I'll take a hit. I'll take a hit. You know what I'm saying? And once them people believe that you're all good, there's not going to be any problems. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They're going to test you. They're going to come back and see. And if you're there, if you're like, hey, I'll fix this. Let's fix it. Let's fix the problem. Boom. That's, you know, and that's what you expect. That's what I expect. But that ain't happening out here.
No, that's
not anymore, man.
So far between anymore.
I respect the old people too. My dad, he's 72, and hell, he said people damn near run him over. I mean, he'll try to. He's got a walker, and he's going out there. He said they'll honk at you and like try to run you down. He said because you're in their way. You know, get out of here, you old son of a bitch. You know, it's like back in the old day, you had respect for old people. I still do. You know?
Yeah.
I help old people if I can. You know, and shit.
You know, people are in such a hurry to go nowhere. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Their road rage is crazy. I mean, these energies, everything is just building up right now, and everything's dealing. You know, the masses or the collectives are dealing with their subconscious fears. You know what I mean? They're those things that they're not aware of what's going on, and they should probably be working on transmuting that. They don't know that's why it's coming up. You know what I mean? So they're just like they're living in that anger, that hate, or that fear, and it's you know it's manifesting in the physical, and it's coming out, and you can see it more and more. And that's why I don't watch the news. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I got enough of my own shit that I'm going to manifest and need to deal with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've been doing that a lot, but I don't need to deal with your stuff. You know, don't fall into the collective, their baggage, because you will pick that up. You will. Yeah. You know, we're a hive mind. We're all connected. So whatever all that's going on, you're going to pick it up in some way, shape, or form. So you got to recognize that that's not your own thought, and move on and try to keep yourself as balanced as possible. That just made me think with the one video Case did, and I actually had him send me the pictures or the results from that.
And another orb just went floating by your head. I don't know if it's your light or if it's actual orbs. I don't know, but you definitely got some little friends.
You know, I got the door open today, so I have some natural light coming in to light the background up. So maybe just picking it up a little more.
Yeah.
Awesome. But so the video he did was on this guy, I think it was in Russia. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But he had a machine that.
And what time is it on your video right now?
What do you mean? How long?
Yeah.
It's an hour and 13, but I was on here for like a half hour before you got here.
Hour and 13. Because right behind you was a different kind of orb this time, dude. It almost was like a white streak, like a freaking something you could see through. Almost, it was different. It was. I want to come back to this spot. So,
all right.
It was just about 15 seconds before we're talking about this.
Yeah, it'll be a different time on the recording, but we'll find it now that we talked about it. All right. So, Case. No, the guy had a device to take pictures of your energy centers, your chakras, so you can see what chakras are, and they did like a before and after having the reconnective healing done to you. And before, you know, the chakras would be, you know, out of balance, out of whack, and then after a session, it just kind of lined them, it brought them back into like a straight alignment, you know.
Right.
It wasn't perfect, but it was damn close. It was damn close. So I think that's very that's very helpful. That's the balance that you want to achieve. You know, you want to have that balance, your energy centers to be balanced. That'll really help you stay balanced altogether. You know what I mean? And then just keep a log of your thoughts. If you're having some bad thoughts or negative thoughts, if you can't shake them, if they keep coming up, you know, journal about that. That's a great idea. And write that shit out. You know what I mean? That's it. and figure it out, and don't harp on it too much, because energy flows where your focus goes. So if you're focusing on whatever you're focusing on, if it's negative, you're feeding energy to that. You're going to manifest that negative in your life.
Right.
And I really am working on not feeding energy to anything that isn't serving me.
Right. Right.
That's I've been,
and it's all an energy. It's all an energy exchange too. I mean, like human beings, I don't care who they are, they all eat. I mean, energy is what you eat. I mean, and some people like go for the rush. Like there's people who jump out of planes and climb mountains and jump off of them, and they go for that adrenaline, and that's a different kind of energy, and that's an extreme energy, but they feed off of that. And then there's people who are hateful and they want to like just ruin your day and just piss you off, and they feed off of it. And there's the love energy that we're trying to spread. And there's people who are feeding off of this and they're eating this. And, it's what is, you go to this big smorgasbord of life, of food, and of energy. What energy are you going to go and eat? You know what I mean? Where are you going? Are you going to go over here and eat this positive and keep staying in it and staying in it? Because that's what eventually happens is, and I just don't think anything. We've got all these people in our lives that we're related to and friends with. So you're not going to shake and bake everything. You know what I mean?
No.
You're just going to have some of this shit in your life. Those are your tests. Do what you're doing. Let them just lead by example.
I was listening to Cryon this morning, and he said exactly that, talking about karmic relations, and that they're aware, of most people when they awaken that their entire family are against them.
Right.
That's part of your karmic lessons or your karmic history or whatever it is. So that's, you came into this world with some kind of karma that you had to deal with. But the thing now with this energy is you can deal with that and drop the karma. So all your next lives, all your future with whatever incarnations that you have, you're not going to enter in with any more karma. So that made me think, I never thought of it this way. People that are awakening and their entire family supports them, they already did that. They already dropped their karma. They don't have, that's having a great pride. And there's not a whole lot of them. There's not a whole lot of them. That's, it's already started in this generation. So I thought that would be very interesting that, everything you do in this life, all the karma situations that you deal with and drop, you can drop them and you will never have to deal with that again.
Yeah.
Which is worth it to me. I mean, if nothing else happens, you can drop all that shit. I'll never have to do it in any other lives. I want my next life to be like, I want to be a profound, like, I want to wake up when I'm 5 and just know all this stuff that I've learned in this life already. You know what I mean? And just, and I think that's what it's going to be like. I really do. I think when you reach a certain age, you're just going to remember how to read, remember how to talk and just go, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. I think, and we always think of karmatic lives as some kind of lineage thing, like something that in the past. I think that, if you can imagine yourself being, different creatures, different, like maybe you're Syrian, maybe you're Pleiadian as well, maybe you're human, maybe you're, whatever, like multi-dimensions. And in those dimensions, you're in a different classroom. Imagine yourself being like, there's 20 of you, and there's all, you go to this big school, and there's all these classrooms that you're going to. Well, while you're working out karmatic issues in this classroom, it's having an effect on this class and an effect on this class all at the same time, simultaneously. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like the exercise is working all the muscles or something, kind of a thing. And because I think that, whatever we're doing here, a lot of what's going on with us here has to do with whatever's going on there at this exact same time. You know what I mean? Yeah. And this shit's playing out a million different ways. Whatever we're doing, it's playing out a million different ways. Yeah. And, we're just aware of like this. But somewhere else, on another one, you and me might be really rich and have thousands of subs. You know what I'm saying? Nice to think like that. You know what I'm saying? and
Yeah.
we're on an island, and
Right.
stars, and people
Well,
are coming.
another thing is that we can tap into that now. So
Yeah,
every variation you can imagine of yourself is happening right now.
yeah.
Very, very being homeless to being a millionaire or whatever,
Or even the people that you idolize on.
or being an ascended master, like it's
Yeah,
all happening. So if you're aware of that, then you can start to shift into that.
yeah,
That's amazing to me. So I've been hearing a lot of this. Is it's like just know it, not even know it. It's you can just be like you have already accomplished that. Instead of like
yeah,
working towards that, just know it. You already have it. You already have abundance.
yeah. Right.
Everything you need in this life.
Another
You
version,
already have
another version of you has that, right?
it.
The
Yeah,
fact that you thought about it has manifested it, in another version,
yeah, yeah.
So I mean, yeah, it is when you think of the layers. I mean, what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
we see time as linear, but on the other side of the veil, it's very quantum.
Right,
There's no linear time, so everything is always happening for them in the now. So
right.
they can see our past. It's not the past to them. They see it continuously, and they can see the other timelines too. It's just like, a lot of these things, I think timelines are collapsing and we are shifting into these other dimensions or these other realities rather. And we are, moving into that. I mean, look at the
Right.
shift
At
that
the
we
very
went in
least,
the last year, you know what I mean?
to
What?
me, at the very least, we're remembering. We're remembering them. We're seeing them because and we always go back to the Mandela effect as that proof that being aware of two realities, and who knows how many more we're actually aware of that we haven't found that we haven't found out yet. Like we're going to go to a place and find out that lake is not there, and that guy that you knew at that lake doesn't even exist. That's another reality, you know what I mean? But maybe he was in the other two realities. Maybe he wasn't, the one in this reality and the one that I'm aware of now, but he's not in this third one, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever, And then maybe in a fourth one, he's there, but something else is gone, and you start to realize and see, because if we've seen two, why can't we see four? And if we see four, why can't we see eight? It's just a matter of, when is going to be the time that we're going to see it? Because there'll be another effect, it'll be called something else. And then we find out that maybe certain people see a certain color and they're the only people who can see this color. And they hold this thing up, this card, and the rest of us, it looks white. But to that person, they can see that color because in that dimension they're in,
They're multidimensional.
they can actually see that color, that frequency.
You just made me think of
more than frequency.
You just made me think of something Luna Ash said that after this, I think after this galactic year ends, which I think is over the summertime, that she said a lot of people would be shifting into their multi-dimensional self, and they will be able, like a large group of people will be able to see colors, and they'll see them all the time. Like, just like you're saying, like, a color in a spectrum that we can't see now, that like you'll see it in the sky, you know what I mean? You'll see it everywhere you go. And that was like, it just made me think of that with that. That's awesome.
Right.
Things are happening so rapidly. Like, I mean, the changes we're going through all the way down to the molecular level to everything, it's all related anyway. It's all little balls of energy, basically, torus fields, energy fields. And everything is changing. We're all ascending rapidly. Our cells are changing. Our minds are changing. Our realities are changing. Our bodies are changing, like, fast. Really, really fast. You know what I mean? Like, it's really amazing if you can stop and appreciate all the things that your body and you have handled through this ascension, through all these energies, through all this transmuting that you've had to do, that you've been working on. And then all the radiation that's around us in the natural environments with the electromagnetic fields and, like, you know what I mean? Not natural electromagnetic fields, but like your Wi-Fi or 4G and 5G, all that stuff that we're constantly exposed to, always, no matter where you live. We're pretty badass. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
We should just like be fried, like from like especially people living in like major cities where all this stuff is. Like they've taken measurements, and it's just like it's crazy the amount of
shit humans can take.
Yeah.
Pollution, toxic,
Yeah. It's
like I always use this example. My dad smokes, her mom, they're 74 and 73, 74. Then my mom was 72. She just passed, but they've smoked and 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 still smoking. And it's like, damn, they take their oxygen off and fucking fire one up. Like, are you kidding me? And they're still, it's like, and that shit's, that's just straight toxic,
Yeah.
But some humans can tolerate it forever. It's killing some people, but some people tolerate, they look at everything that we're going through. Lead paint, and then the asbestos, and just all the things that they used to put in the houses. And, now the shit we get from China, I'm telling you, and then the food that we're eating, oh my God, that's really bad. And the air that we're breathing, and just the emissions from your house decaying. Your house literally decays, just like everything else. And it creates, like an emission, a dust, something that you're going to breathe. And it's not healthy for you either. You know what I mean? They say that the inside of your house, there's more allergic, allergens in a lot of people's houses than there are on the outside, So, it's, and we just take it. Our bodies, we go through it. And then going through all this, the changes. And I think really that, and that's why this Reconnecting thing, I think, is really taken off is, we've been able to heal. People have been able to heal ever since. You go way back to the Sumerians, to the Hindus, to Egyptians. There's been healers. There's been all kinds of healers. There's been sound healers. There's been people who use drums to heal. Different kind of sages and they burn different. People have used oils. People have laid hands on. People have brought in energy. People have used stones and crystals. Healing, in my next video, I'm just going to talk about this and talk about how the New Thought movement started in the United States and how it all comes from the 7 Hermetic principles, which is basically from Egypt, and a lot of cultures all at the same time had this same kind of healing, and it had to do with the meridian lines. It had to do with you connecting to what they now Isaac Newton, I think, called it ether, this invisible force that you can tap into. And at that time, certain people, when their consciousness was at a certain level, they were healers. Now, you don't really have to be, all these people that are awakening and feeling these frequencies, that's because we're in a certain place in the galaxy to where I think we're having access. And I even think that all the satellites out there that are shooting shit and all these towers, I think it's helping us as humans we're pinging off a tower, we're bringing that shit in, you know what I mean? I think that's other frequencies we're probably zapping in on this microwave, this frequency, this invisible wave, because it's all around us, from cell phones to, you name it, you know what I'm saying? TV, cable, Wi-Fi, there's wireless everything from walkie-talkies. You name it, there's antennas for everything. And and we're the same thing. We're antennas. So to me, we're just at this point in time where we're in this certain place in this galactic plane. We have all this frequency flying around, zipping around everywhere from every kind of device that there is. And we're just like, whoo, pulling it in. You know what I mean? And now more than ever. So, and it's really cool. It's really cool that, because a lot of people, because I guarantee you back when there was a cat named Mesmer, I'm briefly going into this guy, but he was born in Germany, and you heard the term mesmerized. Well, that started with him. He used to stare at you. Yeah, he used to stare at you, and he would put you in this hypnotic state, and he would heal you. And he got to be such a big deal that the health community was studying him, and they was using his the mesmerize, what they call mesmerize. They was using that technique for pain at that time. This is like the 1800s.
Wow.
And they were going to use it as anesthesia. Well, the spiritual community comes in and acts like it's some form of, devil.
Satanic.
You know what I mean?
Mm,
So
naturally,
everybody pushed it away. You know what I mean? But that's just one example of one of the people that had one of his ways. There was so many different people who did different things.
yeah.
There was this one guy named Quimby who studied the animal magnetism shit, the mesmerized shit. Phineas Quimby. This dude here, he ended up having this kid, and this kid, I think his name was Lucius. Anyway, this little kid, he used to like diagnose the people. He would tell him what was wrong with them. And this guy started thinking that this kid was reading their minds and that these people were sick from something that the doctor had told him. So his theory was all he had to do was explain to him that, hey, you're not really sick. The doctor convinced you that you're sick, and all he would do was convince them that they wasn't sick, and he would heal them. So, there's this three-way deal. The person that's sick, the facilitator who says, hey, I can get you the juice, and then the juice. You know what I mean? There's this three-way thing going down. And it doesn't matter how they bring it.
That's amazing that you just said that. At the Reconnective training, that's literally what they say.
What,
you're in a three-way. It was funny because Jillian kept saying three-way all the time, and I was,
you're just thinking something else.
Because I have a dirty mind. But so everyone was laughing. But that's exactly it. It's you, facilitator, your client, your patient, and this universal intelligence. This light and information, and that's amazing because I have never told you that, and that you just glean that on your own. That's beautiful, bro.
Yeah, and another thing is it's and you had confirmed this because you said that you guys just stared at somebody. Well, this book I'm reading, that's called The Secret Source. It's a good book, and they talk about how that the healing is. They really believe. Because there was a shaman, I think it was the shamans that believed, you've heard of the evil eye, that you literally can put the evil eye on somebody and make them either have bad luck or sick. You can put a spell on them. This is something that's really believed. And the same thing is true with healing. They believe that the reason that people use their hands and put their hands on them is because the person who's getting the healing, that's something they need that. But the real healing, they say, is coming through the eyes, because that's where your consciousness comes through. That's where the projection is. That's where light comes in. You project the reality. So, there's this projection, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, it's pretty interesting. But my point is that, with acupuncture as well, you was talking about how the chakras are lined up, and that's when I got off on this tangent. They're called energy centers. Some people call them waypoints. Some call them chakras, whatever. You have these certain areas, and they're lined up with the chakras. They're energy points. And when you are out of whack, that's why chiropractors, if you ever been into a chiropractor's office and you look at everything comes down your central nervous system, and it all comes out into every single part of your body, every single nerve, every pore, every hair, everything that you do and you feel, it's all comes from that central nervous system. You get that shit cocked, you get that shit a little tweaked or out of, where the nerve, where the flow, where the what they actually call spinal fluid. It's a sacred fluid. Anybody knows about this Santos Bonacci dude? He's heavy. You need to check that dude out. He's cool. But anyway, that spinal fluid, man, you get that flow going. Now you've got energy from the ether to the universe to Gaia to the earth. And dude, once you're in that flow, you know what I mean? Everything else falls away. Things begin to fall away. Even the shit that in your life, you learn to let it fall away. It's going to be there. It's going to be there. It's like a mud puddle. You just got to go around it. Step over it, put a board on it and walk across it. But The mud puddles are going to be there. You just got to find a way not to get in the mud. You know what I mean?
I love that. I love it.
Dig it.
Perfect. All right. I think we're at the hour mark now, so let's go ahead and wrap it up.
I don't say I didn't know if you would be down for this, but I was thinking we ought to. I don't know, but to me, 33 minutes and 33 seconds sounds like the perfect time for a show. But maybe that's not enough time. I don't know. Maybe we need an hour.
Yeah, I mean,
because we jabbed her a lot, you know.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking I might edit the whole first half of this out. So got good about it halfway point. We had no direction coming into this, so we just
yeah. It may end up 33 minutes. 33
yeah, it might.
Yeah.
That's funny. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us again. Love and light to everyone. Be the change that you want to see in this world, and love yourself always, first and foremost.
Yes, and I love you. I love you. Oh,
I love you.
Because you're me.
And you.
You're all me. So I just love the hell out of you. So you better love me back. Go sub my channel. If you don't sub to it, you hate yourself. you know. All right.
I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, I love that saying that divinity in me recognizes the divinity in you. Because
Dig it.
I am you and you are me.
Dig it.